Today we're looking at how to make the platforms your partners. Now, one of the mistakes that people make is they think that they can just make content, they can put it out there, and that's all the work that they have to do. It's a little bit more involved with that. But before we get into it, hi, my name's Matt. If you haven't seen me before, I talk a lot about short form video. I talk a lot about social media. So I left school with no qualifications, no anything. And through the use of social media, I've gone on to do lots of other things. I've got multiple videos in the multiple millions. I've created a number of profiles for myself, and I do a lot of this for my clients that have gained pretty big numbers. So I know what I'm talking about a little bit right now. One of the things that we're going to discuss today is this partnership with the platforms. Now, when we start out, we take a look and we decide which of the platforms are going to work best for us. So, where are our clients? Where are our communities? Where are the people that we want to speak to? Where do they hang out? Now, once we've established that, then what we should have then is a few of the basic outlines on what platforms we're going to use. Now, because I predominantly work within short form video content, we are looking at TikTok, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, those kind of things at the moment. Now, when we're looking at that, what we have to consider is a couple of core principles, right? And if we follow these, we'll have far more chance of success, of virality, of having the platform share our content for us, because ultimately that's what we want. So the first thing we have to establish is the fact that at the moment, short form video is heavily being pushed by the platforms, right? It's the most shared and consumed form of content. It makes up a huge portion of information being shared on the internet, and because of that, all the platforms want a slice. Now, TikTok, as we know, in the past few years has got extraordinarily big, but what that's done is it's forced the other platforms to take note and do similar kind of things. So now, in the past year or two, we have Instagram Reels, which has been around for a little while. We've got Facebook Reels, which is kind of a new thing out here in the UK anyway. We've got YouTube Shorts, again, that's a new thing out. And these things now, they're vying for your content, for your viewing, for your watch time, right? Now, as long as we know that, then we can say, okay, right, well, how can we leverage that? How can we use that to our advantage? And the best way to go about that is to actually make the platforms your partners. So what I mean by that is, when you think about it, this is a partnership. It's a two-way street. It's a symbiotic relationship. We give to them, they give to us, and between us, we both fulfill what it is that we actually want to achieve. So in our case, that's being seen, that's growing communities, that's building funnels, that's accessing their audience through their platforms for our interest, right? Now, as far as they're concerned, they want us to be good creators and good providers so that we keep other people on their platforms for longer and engaged for more time and spending money, right? So when we look at that, we think, okay, so there's kind of the deal. That's kind of the relationship. So what do we need to do? Well, one of the things is to be consistent. It's really important that we keep a level of consistency so that the platform can start to trust us, right? Once that happens, once they realize that we're going to be giving them content, we're going to be giving them things regularly, they're far more likely to share what we do out to a bigger audience, because they're reliant on us then to do more, to give out more, so that they can then promote more. Okay. The second thing is stay within your community. Now, I don't necessarily mean stay in your niche, because your niche could be a number of different things. What I mean is stay within your community. So if your interests cover 3 or 4 different sort of niche areas, but it's within the community, that's absolutely fine. But do stay within that. So if you're talking about, I don't know, sailboats, sailing, yachting, that kind of lifestyle and that kind of environment, and you suddenly start making videos about something completely not attached to that at all, I don't know, something rocks as an example. If you start doing that, then obviously that's going to throw out what the platform thinks you do, and it's also going to throw out where the platform sends you. Now, that's instantly going to have a real problem with the algorithms, because they're going to start testing your videos to the wrong audience they're not going to do very well. They're not going to get that interaction we need. And then the platforms are going to draw back from sharing what you do because they've actually sort of lost faith that you're going to be a reliable person that's going to have interest to the people watching. Okay? Now, the next thing on this is hashtag properly. This is a really, really important thing, because if I say to you, this is a bag of chips, and I explain it as a bag of chips, and what it actually is a yogurt, you're going to be a little bit confused and upset. And it's exactly the same thing with content. So if I talk about hashtagging, my whole point of hashtagging is to make sure that I structure the information that the platform can read and that people who are surfing can read in a way where it actually tells them what my content is, so that they can then distribute that and put that in front of the right people. And again, that's building trust, that's building that relationship. Now, the next thing is we want to make sure we interact. Again, really, really important that we interact with our communities, with our audience. If somebody leaves a comment, answer it, acknowledge it, okay? If somebody gets involved with you, if we're talking on TikTok and they duet or they stitch or something like that, again, acknowledge it, answer it, get involved. It's your community after all. And the longer you can engage them on the platform, the more time they spend on the platform, the more that platform is then going to reward you going forward. Now, the next one, give value freely. Now, when we talk about this, especially if you have online courses, if you sell information, that kind of thing, sometimes people can be a little bit reluctant with how much they want to give away for free. But you want to make sure that you're giving away as much information as you can, right? It doesn't matter, personally, I don't think, if you give away so much information that you're thinking, crikey, that's the stuff I should be selling, because most people don't actually implement that. Most people don't have the accountability that they want. Most people don't have it collated in a way that they can follow through. So you can actually give all the information like this on a free platform and say, hey, here it is, go. A lot of people won't actually do that, and a lot of people want more from you. So don't be afraid of giving that value, and it's that value that will draw people into your funnels, into your pipelines, into your paid content, because you've got to establish that relationship first, that you are somebody, A, worth listening to, and B, worth spending money on. Okay? Now, the last thing we're going to talk about today is, remember, it is a relationship. So your relationship with the platform is exactly that. It's a friendship, it's a partnership, it's a deal, right? We make a deal, they make a deal. So the deal for us is that we're going to provide content. The deal for them is they're going to host it, they're going to offer it out to an audience, but we've got to make sure that we're keeping up our end of the bargain by doing all of the things that we've discussed in a way that works. Now, if you enjoyed this, guys, please do me a favor, subscribe, click the bell notification. It'd be lovely to have you in our communities. I do lots and lots of things around social media, and it would be great to have you on board.